The Star Sport podcast is brought to you by Access Credit Union. Access Credit Union, funding dreams for over 50 years.
Close your eyes and pull like a dog.
And a new Irish record for Phil Healy, 22.99.
Christy Cooney hands over the Sam Maguire Cup to Graham Canty, Cork All-Ireland champions for the 7th time ever.
Hello and welcome once again to another episode of the Star Sport podcast. I'm your host Matthew Hurley and I'm joined today as always by Star Sport editor Kieran McCarthy. The Star Sport podcast is brought to you in association with our friends at Access Credit Union. Access Credit Union, where your bank really does matter. Choose credit union, choose local, choose community. Now it is that time of the year again where we review the 2024 West Cork Sports Star Awards ceremony, which was held in the Celtic Ross Hotel last Saturday night. And there was a plethora of winners which we'll discuss later on in the podcast. And this, of course, is the Star Sports Awards special. So yeah, Kieran, the night itself on Saturday, great night for all, I'd imagine, great for the winners. And it was just a great night to celebrate West Cork sport for 2024.
That's exactly it, Matthew. What this night does, it celebrates the best in the West. It celebrates West Cork sport. So it's just incredible when you've so much sporting talent under the one roof at the same time. So like you had Olympic champions there, Fintan McCarthy, Olympians in Nicola Tuttle, the European road bowling champions, James O'Donovan, All-Ireland Camogie winners, Ciara O'Sullivan, a world champion kickboxer, Oran Brady. And then you've like legendary figures like Niall Cahalane there. And even kind of what was great to see is winners from over the years were there with Lily Delacour, the banter kickboxer who won the overall youth award before, the overall main award. And Lily was the reason we brought in the Special Achievement Award because she achieved so much in her kickboxing career. And we saw Ian Kingston there, the Hall of Fame award winner from last year. So, like I said, you just had a collection of the greatest people involved in West Cork sport. And it was just, fantastic night.
And I'd imagine it was for everybody involved in the awards ceremony, I'd imagine. And this year's guest speaker, just before we get into the award winners, was Lisa Fallon, RT sport pundit, and she was an excellent speaker on Saturday night from what I was hearing. So yeah, it was a great guest speaker to have, Kieran, among the long list of some brilliant guest speakers down through the years.
Yeah, we've been so fortunate in these awards to have, like you said there, just a great list of guest speakers from even in recent years. There's been Brian Cody with Donal Linehan last year. We've had Tony Cascarino, we've had Ronnie Whelan, go back Rob Heffernan. You know, you name it, they've come to the West Cork Sports Star Awards because these awards are now their 27th year, going into their 28th. So there's a prestige and longevity to these awards that not a lot of other awards have. But Lisa Fallon was really, really good. I was so impressed by her speech, and it's lovely. She has that kind of West Cork link as well. Lisa's from Dublin, and she works at FIFA, and she works with the likes of Arsene Wenger, and who's her boss. You know, kind of that's the level that she's at. But she kind of brings it all back down to local level, and it was a man from Inniskeen, John Caulfield, who gave Lisa her big break years ago with Cork City and also with Galway United. So she spoke glowingly about John, who's a former Hall of Fame winner at the West Cork Sports Star Awards. But one of the best speeches we've had in recent years, absolutely brilliant. And even chatting to some people at the hotel on Sunday morning, they were kind of blown away by her as well. It's just it was just a speech that kind of resonated with so many people. She spoke about kind of perception bias and even how hard at the start that she found it as a woman to make her way in what's seen as a kind of male-dominated football game, and how people and teams underestimated her to almost to their cost and to their pearl. So no, Lisa was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll get into the winners of the awards, and we'll start off with these guys don't need any introduction. Obviously, the sports star of the year was Paul O'Donovan and Fintan McCarthy. Paul winning his 4th sports star award for the year over his career, and Fintan winning his 3rd. Like, I think you've said this before, Kieran, but you've just run out of words to explain these guys' achievements and their demeanours and everything like that. But what else can you say about these two lads?
It's incredible. Like, they're the most successful athletes in the history of the West Cork Sports Star Awards, and that's almost in keeping with what they've achieved. Like, we're talking about two local lads, kind of, they're from the parish of Affadown, which is just outside Skibbereen, but they're two local fellas who've become the best in the world at what they do. Like in that lightweight rowing, the lightweight men's double, they were absolutely untouchable. And just for two athletes from West Cork to be the best in the world and to be dominant at that for over such a period of time, since 2019 to 2024, they were world champions, back-to-back Olympic champions, just absolutely incredible. So they were very deserving winners of this award, because if you look at 2024, Matthew, that they defended their gold medal at the games in Paris, and Fintan made a good point on Saturday night when he picked up the award. He said before last weekend he had as many West Cork Sports Star Awards as he had Olympic gold medals. So he said it shows how prestigious the West Cork Sports Star Awards are, but they were really deserving winners, and we're going to hear from Fintan now, who I caught up with afterwards. Fintan McCarthy, West Cork Sports Star of the Year for 2024, along with your partner in crime, Paul O'Donovan. How does it feel to win this award again?
Pretty good. Third time's the charm. I think it's some kind of record someone was telling me. I don't think anyone's got as many as these. I know Paul's got one more than me, but
you're the most successful duo in the history of the awards.
Yeah. Pretty good. Can't complain.
If we're going back years ago, I think Timmy Harnedy and Eugene won the award twice. But now you're on top of the pecking order. You've the bragging rights in the rowing club.
Yeah, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with that.
How important is it to be recognised here at home? You've spoken about it before. Like, you're from Skibbereen. You've learned to row in Skibbereen. Like, you're rowing for Ireland, but you're representing the people of Skibbereen and West Cork. So does it mean an awful lot for you to be recognised here at home?
Of course, yeah, always. I know I've said it so many times before, but it's the people at the club and the friends and family and neighbours. They're the ones that have kind of been there all along and seen what it's taken to get to this level, and not they're there on the bad days too. So just to give back a little bit of joy, or even just have a chat and a catch up with them is always really, really special. So yeah, I always love the sports awards here.
And it's even to share these moments with them. Like, Sean, your brother from the rowing club is here tonight, and he's been there from day dot with the rowing club, and the rowing club have such a great association with these awards. But to see them, they come out, whether it's a monthly award for yourself or Paul or Aoife or Emily, or the overall gala night, they're always here to support you.
Yeah, all the time. It's amazing. And I think that's obviously a part of what's kept us in rowing, is that community and the pride that they get from seeing us compete, but also the pride we have representing them. They really did change our lives, to be honest. So yeah, it's pretty cool when you think about it that way.
And what's it like to share room below with all the other monthly award winners? Because the variety of winners here in West Cork is off the charts, from road bowlers, soccer players, hockey, rugby, rowing, football. It's just incredible right now here.
I know, it's so exciting. I think you feel it in the room as well. Everyone's kind of buzzing off the achievements of last year, but looking forward as well. There's a lot of, I guess, older winners like us, but then the talent of the young people down there is unreal, and thinking of what's possible for them in the next few years, and a few I don't want to say Olympics, because there's obviously more than just the Olympic sports, but what's to come is pretty exciting.
Like, you've naturally assumed the role of a role model, kind of like you're 28 years old now, kind of your 2 Olympic gold medals, all these world titles, European medals, kind of 3 West Cork Sports Star of the Years. Like, you've won a lot. Kind of, how does being a role model sit with you? Kind of, is it a role that just kind of falls naturally to you, or do you even think about it like that?
Yeah, I don't really think about it, to be honest. I think if people can take inspiration or I don't know, take anything from how I've done things or how we do things, then I think that's great, and I'm more than happy to I guess take that role and help out where I can. But I think we're just sort of going with the flow and living life, so that's kind of how I think about it.
And we're now obviously in 2025, a new year, new chapter for yourself and Paul. The lightweight days are behind you. Have you kind of thought about that?
Obviously.
Have you actually thought about that? As in, like, and had you a chance since Paris to kind of say, I can finish as a lightweight rower, like that chapter is done, like that box is ticked. Have you thought about it like that, or?
Probably not like that. I think because we always knew that this day was coming, even getting the extra Olympics out of Paris as lightweights was nearly a bonus for us because it was supposed to be gone after Tokyo. So, we've had a lot of time to, I guess, come to terms with that and make plans for after. So it was always kind of the idea to either, for me anyway, probably pack it in or else go heavyweight after Paris. So, yeah, it's kind of part of the process really. I think I did take a big break after Paris and sort of like maybe took stock of stuff and reevaluated things. But so, yeah, it's looking like heavyweight life for the moment, but we'll see how it goes. I think training's, it's going pretty well. Still enjoying it, which is the main thing. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
Is there any big difference from training as a lightweight to training as a heavyweight?
For us, not really. I think we probably did it quite well as the lightweights in terms of maybe cut it a bit fine in terms of getting the weight down towards the regattas, but I think it did stand to us. So we were always sort of on top of the food and stuff. So it's just nice to know, I guess, that there will never be a point where we'll have to be like restricting and I guess we've never done, or I've never done big races like that. So it'll be a new routine and a new preparation, and I don't know what that looks like yet because I've not done any races. But yeah, it'll be cool to find out.
So in terms of races, 2025, anything coming up, or what's the plan?
There are some races during the year that we may be at, or I may be at, Paul may be at. We don't know, to be honest. We don't know anything. I think because obviously, there's no weight classes anymore. Everyone's sort of in the same mixing pot. So we don't know what boats are going, who's going to be in what. So it's kind of just about training at the moment and seeing where we land when it comes to the trials and things like that. So it's a bit every man for themselves at the moment. But I think we've got some good talent and some good depth down in the rowing centre and across the country too. So we'll see.
I know you're a man who loves certainty. So you're stepping into the unknown again here. Like it's the world of heavyweight. You've never been here before. So how are you dealing with the kind of the unpredictability of what this future holds?
I think better than I expected. When it comes down to it, there's nothing you can do really. Only train and hope that you're going to be fast enough. I'm kind of, I guess, in a bit of a race against the clock at the moment because I took a big break. I'm not like hugely fit, but now that I'm back, doing it a bit, the numbers are coming down. They're not where they were, even in the lightweight days. So it's going to take another bit until I'm like in pretty good shape for a rower. But I'm enjoying the challenge of it. Like I thought maybe it would be a bit overwhelming and a bit too much, but yeah, I guess you could say I'm sort of cramming fitness at the moment. We've a set of trials in February and in April before the Europeans. I think they might be the end of May or June sometime. So yeah, we'll see where we land.
No better man to cram and pass the test.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Fintan. Well done again.
Thank you.
Another award winner on the night was the Hall of Fame award winner, and of course it was Niall Cahalane, a legendary Gaelic footballer for Cork and his club Castlehaven as well. And just the legendary status that he has around West Cork and Castlehaven, and obviously his son's playing for Cork now, his daughter's playing for Cork and Camogie as well. Like, he is just a legend of West Cork and thoroughly deserving of the Hall of Fame award.
Oh, he's one of those living legends, Niall Cahalane. Kind of he's kind of his feats kind of transcend the generations, you know, kind of he's one of the kind of the hard men of the GA, but he was really skillful as well, and a real leader for Cork in the 80s and the 90s, and a real leader for Castlehaven too. When you look at Castlehaven, his first senior county title was 89, he's third of 2003. Like, that's across 14-15 seasons. He was captain in 94 as well. Captain Cork in the 95 Munster Senior Football Championship, two-time All-Star in the late 80s, won 2 All-Ireland Senior Football titles with Cork. He captained Cork to the All-Ireland Under-21 title in 84. He won an All-Ireland minor title with Cork in 1981, and they're just some of his CV that's coming to my head straight away. So he really is a living legend, and a really kind of fitting inductee into the West Cork Sports Star Hall of Fame. He was in great form on Saturday night. When he got up to accept his awards, his speech, like he said, he'd nothing written, and it was just a really entertaining speech. And anyone who was in the room will know all about his sailing story that he used to finish off, and it definitely brought the house down. But like I said, a really fitting winner of the West Cork Sports Star Hall of Fame award, and we caught up with him afterwards for a quick chat.
Niall Cahalane, congratulations, Hall of Fame award winner, a fantastic speech and a really great night. What does it mean to you when you spoke eloquently about it in your speech, but joining the Hall of Fame?
It's always great to come back and get something in West Cork, and I suppose, as I said, and I didn't say it in my speech, I think I was saying to you earlier that a few of the lads, you know, they kind of move along and they're either training or they're going somewhere, and I said to Jackie, are you doing anything Friday night? He said, I'm not doing that. Or Saturday night, he said, I'm not doing that. He said, we gave on Saturday night. I said, well, to come down to Celtic Ross. I said, what's that? Tell him about my Hall of Fame, and next thing he says, what kind of a thing is that? And I could see all these kids now, they go on a phone or whatever, and next thing he comes back, he said, no, they'll give this a skip. That's kind of close to the end of life, isn't it?
Well, that wasn't the intention of the award, as you know.
No, it wasn't. I know that.
But you know as well, because you've lived in West Cork all your life, you played football and represented Castlehaven, represented the parish, you know what it means to Castlehaven, what football means to them. But to be in the Hall of Fame with the past winners and all those great names, like, you've earned that right, Niall, with a lifetime dedicated to your club. And I mean, you know, you spoke about all the people that helped you at a young age, but like club and in Castlehaven and in that parish union hall, Castletownshend, it's still king.
I'm not too sure what I've ever deserved, you know what I mean? But however, it's just marvellous to come back to West Cork, and it's know what it is, and pick something up. It's great, and this just happens to be a Hall of Fame, and I would have been a monthly winner back in the old West Cork Sports Star Awards probably 40 odd years ago, and it's just great to come back now again, and as I, you know, and it is, and I suppose for me personally, it's marvellous. But anything I have ever done is kind of, you know, isn't about me personally. I would feel Castlehaven is kind of what the whole thing is really about. I'm sure that much more a county medal than a fucking Hall of Fame. But at the same time, you know what I mean, it shows that we're on 6-7 decades now where we have won senior counties and they're still going. And I did it in my time, and the Collinses and the Minahans and the Donovans did it before me, and you know what I mean. I see Goleen there tonight, won a Junior B county. I see Castlehaven winning the first Junior B West Cork, and I can remember leaving Clan, and everyone converged on Onahincha. Onahincha then was like the Algarve. A bit windier, but everyone stopped in Onahinch on the way home, and the celebrations that time, and I'm looking at that, but that was 1969, I think, 68, 69, and I'm looking at Goleen tonight, and maybe all those years on, maybe someone from Goleen will be here in 40 years' time.
And isn't that the essence of it? It's not the award, it's not the trophies, but it's the people that you share it with and the community that you live in that gets to enjoy it.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about that, you know, and that just keeps the whole thing rocking on for us.
One thing, you must give you and your wife, to see your sons and your daughters representing Cork in intercounty level in football and camogie ladies football, must give you a real thrill even to this day.
Yes, but that then comes with a government warning. That brings its own pressure. when things aren't going right and you're sitting inside in the stand and Daddy Bear have some lunatic up behind him that's giving out about your son or daughter or wiping the floor with him, and I'm ready to turn around and box his head in, and my wife is trying to say, no, we'll just move.
Yes.
You know?
Well, that's fair too, but look, on behalf
But it is, from their point of view, they're living the dream. Yeah. But however, if it was only playing junior, if junior, as I say, the people from Goleen there tonight are having as much fun as if my lads when they'd win in All-Ireland.
Excellent stuff. Congratulations, Cahalane, West Cork Hall of Fame winner, and thoroughly deserved. Well done.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
The Star Sport podcast is brought to you by Access Credit Union. Access Credit Union, funding dreams for over 50 years.
The next award winner was obviously the Team of the Year award, and it was Clonakilty Soccer Club that got that award. And Ciara, you were speaking to Ruben Henry, the Clonakilty Soccer Club captain, on Saturday night.
Yeah, I was caught up with Ruben just before the awards. Ruben is the man who's a pain in his shoulders from lifting trophies for Clonakilty Soccer Club, but he doesn't mind one bit. If you go back to 2024, Clonakilty, they won the Beamish Cup for the first time in 16 years, and then they won the West Cork League Premier Division title for the first time ever. So they won the big two in the West Cork League, the Beamish Cup and the Premier. So a really deserving winner of the West Cork Sports Star Team of the Year award. They had a game on Sunday, so the boys had to be in their best behaviour on Saturday night. They played Dunmanway Town in a Premier Division game. And the good news for Clonakilty Soccer Club is they won that game 3-1, so that we can say that the going to the awards on Saturday night kind of cost them in the title race, you know. So it was good to see that they had a super weekend all around. But like you said, I caught up with Ruben beforehand, and he was just delighted to be able to look back on their 2024 campaign. Joined now by Ruben Henry, captain of the Clonakilty Soccer Club team that's won the West Cork Sports Star Team of the Year award for 2024. What does winning an award mean like this to the club?
It's amazing. It's great to get recognition. You know, we've done a lot of things over the last couple of years, but one thing we haven't done is win silverware. Like, so this year now, or last year, 2024, to do the double it's crazy, really. None of us would have expected it. And then to get the recognition, it was bonus. It's great.
When you reflect back on last season, Clonakilty won the Premier Division for the first time ever, won the Beamish Cup for the first time in 16 years. Like, what's the first thought that comes to your head?
Well, first thing is we didn't believe it at first, obviously. But to be fair, like, we did change things up. We gave it our best shot, like, so we reaped our rewards in the end. Yeah, what we were thinking, I suppose, was over the moon. You know, we put in the hard work, so we got what we deserved, really, in the end.
And what was different last season compared to seasons beforehand?
I think like the size of the squad really made the biggest difference. Previous seasons, like maybe 15 players, 16 players, training sessions maybe 8 or 9 people, and then going into games maybe 11 or 12. But last season, no, we had 25 fit lads, like 25, and then you have every single person competing for the starting 11. Like, so I think that's everything, and the double trainings every week as well. It all makes a difference, really.
And I have to go back to the Beamish Cup final. That was the start of May, to beat Drina Rangers 3-2. Drina have been the top team in the West Cork League for the last number of years. How important was that, I suppose, psychologically, to beat Drina in a big game, but then go back into the title race in the final few weeks of the season? Like, that seemed like it was a big moment for you.
Yeah, it was, because Drina have broken our hearts so many times before, and just even that win, like, it just gave us such confidence, really, to go on and finish off the season. And we even got to the final of another cup as well, but unfortunately we didn't win that one. But no, to do the double anyway, we were just thriving on confidence, really, to do the double.
And it all came down to that Sunday morning at home in June, title shootout, Clonakilty Soccer Club against Drina Rangers, the top two. You needed to avoid defeat. Got the 2-2 draw that you needed. The celebrations after were incredible. Like, what are your memories of those?
Well, the last 20 minutes of that match was absolute chaos. They were just completely dominating the game, cross after cross and everything. But we stood tough and we got the win. But we definitely celebrated well that night anyway. Like, it was completely unexpected, but like, true reflection then, though, is well deserved from us.
Let's have a quick look at this season. The Premier Division, you're in that title race. You've won your first game in the Beamish Cup. You've the Premier Division Cup, the Maybury, the Parkway Coaches Cup as well. Yeah. You're going strong in all competitions. How are you assessing your form so far?
Well, we're undefeated so far. We've won and draw against Drina, of course. But yeah, we're doing well. We're up up their training now from twice a week to 3 times a week, an extra running session. So it's coming to the business end now, like, so you really have to be on your A game. So many competitions, so many teams really competing. It's not just us and Drina anymore, it's the man way, there's Tour, there's Bunride, there's everyone, like, so you really have to be on your A game every single game.
And could you sense, I suppose, even the confidence in the squad this season compared to last season, like off the back of winning the double?
Yeah, sure. Like, everyone's kind of up against us now. Like, you know, when teams come to play us, they want to beat us. We're the main team now that people want to beat. So, you know, the expectations are high, but you know, we've new players coming in this season now, young lads as well. So that's all just going to help. And
a quick word on John Leahy. He's been involved in Clonakilty soccer, I think, since 1987. I think something like that, you know, kind of for him to be in charge of the Clonakilty team that won the Premier Division and then won the Beamish Cup. Like, tell us a small bit about Mousy.
Yeah, well, Mousy is Clonakilty Soccer Club, really, to be fair. It's given a lot of blood, sweat and tears for the club, and you know, to be able to get him a double there now was actually made probably, you know, what I felt most is just giving him the trophies at the end, like, you know. So he completely deserves it. He's there twice a week training. There matches, all the behind the scenes stuff he's doing. So yeah, there would be no Clonakilty Soccer Club without him. So it was great to get him the trophies in the end and get him some more, hopefully. You know.
Oh, fantastic. Continued success this season?
Yeah, hopefully.
And another award winner was the Goleen GA team. They won the Special Achievement Award, as Kieran mentioned there. That's the award that was brought in over the last few years. And Ger McCarthy caught up with their captain, Paudie Brady, on the night.
Paudie Grady, congratulations here at the West Cork Sports Star Awards night at the Celtic Ross Hotel. Goleen GA representing and winning the Special Achievement Award. Great night for Goleen, great night, and great night to see so many of the club here as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a great honour. Look, I suppose there's such a rich tradition of sporting achievements in West Cork, and look, I suppose I'm a PE teacher, so I see so many sporting icons here tonight. It was an amazing achievement for Goleen to be kind of honoured in that kind of same calibre with there's Olympians and everything here, so we're just so honoured and delighted to be kind of in the same, to be acknowledged with them. So yeah, look, I suppose Goleen always travels well, whether it's matches or functions like this, so look, we were delighted again to be honoured with such a great award.
And you yourself as a teacher, you're pretty popular on TikTok. We imagine this might go viral now again. A lot of comments, positive comments from your students. What's the reaction going to be to seeing you in a tux now next week?
Hopefully not too bad. We might turn the comments off this time. Yeah, no, they like commenting on that. I suppose luckily for me, PE teaching, you know, you'd be kind of friendly with your PE teacher doing the sport and everything. But no, look, I have great kids in St. Brogan's. I'm delighted with all of them. So look, if they comment the way they do, but yeah, no, tis a great achievement to be here now. So.
Indeed it is. You mentioned as well, that's one of the best things about the West Cork Sports Star Awards. You've Fintan McCarthy, you've Paul O'Donovan honoured here tonight, you've Phil Healy, Olympians, gold medal winners at Olympics. But the local successes are taken just as seriously and acknowledged in the same night for what Goleen has achieved. The big thing for me is you lose 4 finals, but you still keep coming back. What does that say about the group of players that you've been involved with?
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, absolutely. It comes down to determination. I suppose you see that across the role models you're after naming there, your Fintan McCarthy's and Paul O'Donovan's, Phil Healy's, Nicola Tuchel, like, you know, just dedication, passion to just keep going. I suppose we've had heartache with different finals over the years, so I suppose just to kind of get yourself back up again and, you know, try and push yourself over the line, that takes a lot of hard work and dedication. And I suppose like our management team of Donal McGrath and Shane O'Neill and our 2 selectors as well, like, they push us every training to, you know, just get that small bit better, try and get over the line. And thankfully this year we finally did, and we're looking forward now to the Munster Championship in February. Hopefully we'll represent West Cork well in that, and onto Junior A for a bit of a change, a bit of a more of a challenge. But look, I suppose if we can get a bit of momentum going, hopefully we might pull off a few shocks or something.
Indeed, you might. 2025 offers so much to look forward to with Goleen GA. Congratulations, Paudie, to you and your club on a Special Achievement Award.
Lovely, thank you.
The Star Sport podcast is brought to you by Access Credit Union. Access Credit Union, funding dreams for over 50 years.
Another award winner was the Clonakilty Rugby Club that won Club of the Year. And Kieran, Neve Burton, their chairman, gave a very good speech on Saturday night, which we'll hear from in just a bit. But talk to me about Clonakilty Rugby Club and the achievements of that club this year.
It's such a great success story again, you know, kind of the more you hear about Clonakilty Rugby Club, the more you're just impressed by what this club do, like in terms of organisation and structure, like they tick all the boxes, and they have to, like, they've 800 members, like that's an incredible amount, and 700 underage, and they've girls and boys underage teams all the way up. They've senior men's and women's teams as well, and they're a club with kind of a big plans for the future as well. You know, kind of they're not a club that's going to rest on its laurels. They've achieved so much. You know, and it's even in terms of, and we'll hear from Neville now in a moment about their kind of the different kind of the club ethos and the policies that they have when it comes to inclusivity and giving everyone a game and so on. They're just a really, really impressive club on and off the pitch. And Neville Burton's acceptance speech was one of the highlights of the night.
Set out to do was to put a set of values at the heart of everything that we're doing, and to test ourselves against those values in every decision we make. And one of the most important ones for us was inclusivity, because we wanted to bring rugby to as many young boys and girls, men and women as we could, and we wanted to give them a great experience. And the reason for that is that I firmly believe that sport is so important and so conducive to helping raise and develop well-rounded young people. And I think, and I'm biased, I think that rugby, at its best, when played right and coached right and administered right, can be a great exemplar of that. So we're working hard to make sure we're the most inclusive club, and we believe that any success we have on the pitch and off the pitch is a byproduct of that, and we'll work hard to transition all that young talent into very competitive rugby players as they reach the adult levels, and hopefully we'll have a lot of success on the pitch. Look, the last thing I want to say is I'm coming back to this group here. It was a very conscious effort to get a good cross-section of the club here tonight to represent us, because there's 24 of us here, but we're representing so many. We're here representing 800 players, boys and girls, men and women. We're representing 100 volunteer coaches. We're representing 20 volunteer referees. We're representing 60 or 70 incredibly hard-working, passionate, enthusiastic volunteer members. And of course, as we approach our 50th anniversary, we're only 2 years away from that, we're representing so many that have gone before us that built this great club, one of them on my right here, and put in place the structures for the current crop to enjoy and take on to the next level. So, look, I'll finish by saying again, we're very grateful for the award. We're very thankful. We're going to get rowdy in a minute. As soon as we get off stage, we're going to have a great night. So thank you very much.
And the final award winner was the Paudie Palmer Youth Award, and it was going to kickboxer Oran Brady. And Kieran, when you chatted to him on Saturday night, he seemed genuinely chuffed about this award, which we'll see later.
He was, you know, kind of. I think he's delighted for a number of reasons. Obviously, he kind of puts kickboxing in the headlines. You know, he won 2 world titles at the WACO World Junior Kickboxing Championships last year. He's just thrilled to win the award, and he mentions he will hear from him in a second about the fact that it's the Paudie Palmer Youth Award as well. You know, Paudie's such a great association with these awards over the years, and Paudie was a great kind of believer in youth and giving youth its chance and stuff, and that's why it's been so fitting to kind of honour Paudie's memory with the renaming the Youth Award in his honour. So Oran was delighted to get his hands on an award that has Paudie's name in it, and also Oran was delighted because his brothers don't have this award. His brothers, just like him, had won West Cork Youth Quarterly Awards in years gone by. His brothers, Sean and Oisin, had also won world kind of kickboxing titles back in. Sean was 2016 and Oisin was 2022. But what Sean and Oisin don't have is the overall award, which Oran now has. So it puts him right to the top of the Brady brothers' Roll of Honour. And as you'll hear from Oran now, he's delighted with that. I know about Oran Brady, the Paudie Palmer West Cork Youth Sports Star of 2024. What does it mean to win an award like this, Oran?
Oh, it's surreal. Like, even to have Paudie Palmer's name on it, like, you think Cork GA, you think Paudie Palmer, like, it's the first name you think of. Like, anyone who knows anything about GA in Cork, you know, they know what he is, and yeah, that's amazing. To C103, Southern Star, yourself and JP, like, you've been doing amazing work for me all year, so just thank you to you, and obviously to Celtic Ross for having it as well. It's an amazing room in here, so yeah, amazing.
We've talked before about your older brothers, Sean and Oisin, both won world gold medals. You came along last year, you won 2 world gold medals, and now you're the Paudie Palmer West Cork Youth Sports Star. Surely you're on top of the Roll of Honour at home now.
Yeah, I am, to be fair now. I think it's gone to the stage where they can't even debate. So yeah, because they both, obviously I was here when they both won their quarterly awards, but they didn't get the year, so this is another one to top them off. So yeah, it's lovely.
Like, you had an incredible 2024, and obviously winning those 2 gold medals at the World Kickboxing Championships topped the bill. What are your memories of that Friday morning in Budapest?
Oh man, it was like just a blip, to be honest. I remember just waking up and just feeling complete. It wasn't even nerves, just numb. Like, it's surreal, to be honest. Like, we got the tram over into the city, into the arena, and then once I got in there, I put on my headphones and I was in the zone. Then I was really feeling like the nerves, but good nerves. And then obviously I won my first one, and then there was no nerves. There was no nerves. I was just like, I'm going to win the double. And I went out and did it, and yeah, it was lovely to have my family there, have all my friends from kickboxing as well, so yeah, it was really nice.
We spoke about this before, Oran. After winning the first world gold, how did you stay composed? Like, there was an hour and a half, I think, between the 2 world title fights, because it's easy almost to lose the run of yourself. You're world champion, but to come back an hour and a half later and repeat the trick. Like, talk to me about that 90 minutes in between the fights.
Yeah, so basically I left, a couple of lads said congratulations, then I was back into the kind of communal area. It was like a warm-up area outside, and it was back in there, put on the headphones, listen to some Irish classics like Cranberries, U2, all them, like, get into the zone. Like, I remember telling my dad as I was on the mat, as I was leaving it, I was like, I've done nothing yet, like, I came here for the double, I'm doing it, like. And yeah, I was back out and I got the job done then.
Incredible success. You mentioned your dad Bernard there, he trains you, runs Ion Kickboxing Club as well. Talk to me, Swan, about Bernard's influence in your story.
Oh man, unreal. Like, to be honest, 2 or 3 years ago I would have taken football over kickboxing, because I was on a development squad at the time. I was going to football trainings and stuff, but I wasn't fully committed, you know, like I wasn't training at home, I wasn't thinking about it all the time. Like, I still, like, I'd go to kickboxing competitions, I'd miss matches, and then I made the decision to pick kickboxing, and he decided then to fully commit to coaching me to get the world title. And oh man, the training this year, it's not only been hard, like, it's been smart. Like, the amount of psychological training, I had to wake up every morning. He made me do it. I thought it was silly at the start, but I had to wake up every morning and tell myself I am a champion. And to be honest, it did the job, like, because every time I went on the mat then this year, like, it was, I'm going to win, like, and if I don't win, I'm going to perform. Like, there's no fear of that. And yeah, it's just amazing, like, what he's done. Even the kids now, we have a competition next Sunday. I'll be coaching and I'll be fighting. But the kids, like, they're unreal. Like, if I had half the talent they have at their age, like, they've got an exciting team coming up anyway.
And looking ahead to 2025, what are the big kind of competitions you're looking forward to?
So I have the Tala Open on Sunday, up above in Dublin. That'll be kind of to see where I am at in my competing stage, to fine tune things then. And then in the first week of May, I'm away in Jesolo in Italy for the Italian World Cup, some spot there. And then the Nationals then at the end of March, to qualify for the Irish team then, for the Europeans later on in August, in Hungary again actually this year. And then I'll probably be going to the Hungarian World Cup as well in June, so yeah, I'll be hoping to peak then for August.
A busy year ahead. The best of luck.
Yeah, thanks very much.
The Star Sport podcast is brought to you by Access Credit Union. Access Credit Union, funding dreams for over 50 years.
So from the award ceremonies back to the pitch, it is back. There are some GA games this weekend, and after a long break with winter, with cold weather, with Christmas and all that, the Allianz Football League and Hurling League is back this weekend. And of course, the Cork footballers are back. They face Meath this weekend in Super Valley Park Kiev at 5 p.m. on Saturday. And we'd normally be excited about a league start here for the Cork footballers, obviously. But we were obviously talking to John Cleary during the week, and even seeing some of his chats as well this week, that between the 8 players leaving the panel in the off-season, then injury news coming in, it's a tough time to be John Cleary at the moment.
It is, yeah. I think it's up to 14 players from last year's squad will be missing for the game this weekend. Like you mentioned, there's been eight players who left the panel, the likes of, I suppose, Thomas Clancy, John O'Rourke and Killian O'Hanlon all retired. Stephen Sherlock deciding to opt off the panel. Jack Cahalane gone to the Cork hurlers. Damien Gore, Kevin Flahill, Fionn Hurley not involved either, kind of deciding to step away. And then with the injury news, like the injury news is just, like it's such a setback for Cork. Like the likes of Sean Meehan, Conor Corbett, Luke Fahey, all missing for the entire league campaign. Ian Maguire and David Buckley won't be around for the first few rounds of the league as well. So we're talking about some big names missing. Some players, like a lot of starters in there too in terms of the injury news. So I know John Cleary is making a point that 20 of the 26 of the 20 of players who were involved in a 26-man panel against Donegal last year are still involved, and that is a positive. But there's a big overturn still there, Matthew, isn't there? Like it's kind of what Cork needs is consistency, and we just haven't had that this winter. It's been a huge upheaval in the panel. So we're going into this opener against Meath on Saturday night, kind of hoping that Cork will get the good start that this team needs to kind of mount hopefully a promotion push. But we just don't know until we see them in action.
Exactly. So, and I was speaking to, I was on Davy Rispin from We Are Meath podcast during the week. And to be honest, the attitude coming out of Meath is they're very, very positive. Robbie Brennan's come in as manager. They have a lot of young players there as well. There doesn't seem to be any injury news on the front there in Meath as well. There doesn't seem to be any pressure on them going down to Super Valley Park on Saturday either. Could this be another setback kind of for Cork in the first round of the league? Because we have talked about over the last few weeks how they've started really, really poorly, Cork. They've only won out of their last 7 matches. They won Allianz League games. So it's a big, big game for John Cleary's side on Saturday against the Meath team that did struggle last season. And especially it is at home. And we mentioned so many times in this podcast that Cork need to do well in their home games.
Yeah, Cork have 4 home games so in this Division 2 campaign, and like you said, need to pick up points at home. That has to be the base to build a promotion push from. And you look on paper, kind of Cork at home to Meath, and you would think before we got all that injury news, you're looking you're kind of positive, saying, okay, this is a game where Cork can get that win they need and just build, because it's a weighted down the weekend after, which is a long trip, kind of up there. So you want to get points on the board very early, because we've seen in recent seasons where you don't get points on the board very early. Instead of looking up, you're looking down. And this Cork team, especially with the injury news that we've learned this week, Cork don't need a bad start, because that's just going to compound matters. And all of a sudden, like, there's always optimism before a ball is kicked, but that optimism can turn to pessimism very, very fast if the results are there. So the hope is that Cork can get that win that they need on Saturday night, just to get the league off to a good start. Because if you look at Division 2 as a whole, Matthew, like, there is a chance, like, if Cork had all their players, which we know they don't have now, to really mount a serious promotion push here. None of the big guns we've seen the last couple of years. There's no Dublin, there's no Armagh, there's no Derry there, there's no Donegal, there's no Galway, kind of these teams that have been in and around there the last couple of years. So I was looking at the bookmakers earlier in the week as well, and Cork were kind of giant second favourites for promotion. But we have to see Cork get off to a good start. Like, this is a must-win game already. Cork have to beat Meath on Saturday, otherwise they're on the back foot straight away.
And do you think, just before we leave this game, is it so much pressure now more than ever that Cork go up this year? Because you mentioned the teams in Division 2 this year. Yes, Roscommon are there and they reached the All-Ireland quarter-final last year, so did Louth. But there isn't heavy hitters in this division. So is there more pressure now more than ever for Cork to go up?
Like, it's kind of, like I said earlier, and we know it's not the case, if Cork had all their squad, you'd be fancying a really good kind of tilt at promotion here. And it's not to say that Cork won't, but it's like John Cleary must have offended the football god somewhere, because just as it looks like there's a kind of a Division 2 that Cork can negotiate their way through, just hit with kind of hammer blow after hammer blow, like kind of Ian Maguire, Sean Meehan, Conor Corbett, Luke Fahey, like they're all, like, it's a lot of players to be missing. So there is pressure there. Of course there'll be pressure, kind of, because this is a Division 2 on paper that Cork should be kind of at least in contention for one of those top 2 spots. We just have to wait and see how it pans out. Of course, this year, like, there's a couple of kind of variables in there. These new football rules, like, how are they going to kind of play out? What's it going to be like? Like, that's obviously going to have an impact on the kind of football season as well. We've had no McGrath Cup to see Cork in action either. And there's a lot of new faces on the Cork panel too that we haven't seen in action for Cork. So we're kind of stepping into the unknown a small bit. So that's why I think we'll start to learn a bit about this Cork team on Saturday evening. It's a 5 p.m. throw-in at Páirc Uí Chaoimh. First off, just to just to see who's still standing after the winter, like what the Cork team will look like, and even the subs who are on the bench. And it'll just give us the first sense of, okay, this is the Cork team for 2025. So hopefully, like I said, get off to a good start and just build from there.
We'll have to see what happens. Obviously, between Cork and Meath, it should be a very, very crucial game more than anything for the Cork footballers on Saturday. The Cork hurlers are playing at the exact same time in Chadwick's Wexford Park away to Wexford in the Allianz Hurling League Division 1A. And just briefly on this here, like the league doesn't matter as much, I would say, for the hurlers in terms of staying up or being promoted or whatever. But maybe to get a trophy on the board, they need to start off and get a win against Wexford, because you look at the teams in Division 1A, Limerick, Clare, Kilkenny, Tip, Galway, they're all going to be tough teams. So against a Wexford team to have a lot of retirements over the last few weeks, like Liam McGovern and Matt O'Hanlon, it's going to be a game that Cork will be expected to win.
Yeah, I think Cork, like the hurlers, will want to get off the winning start. And you'd fancy them too away to Wexford, this weekend. It's like kind of comparing the hurlers to the footballers. Like the hurlers are at a totally different level in terms of the expectation, you know, kind of like you mentioned there. Like we saw Cork at the All-Ireland hurling final last year. We saw them beat Limerick twice in the championship after turning their Munster campaign around. So all of a sudden things are looking up for the Cork hurlers, but they can't rest on their laurels either, because Clare will be Clare All-Ireland champions. You know, you think winning the All-Ireland will have kind of pushed them on even more. Limerick will be hungry this year to kind of bounce back. You know, it's going to be a really competitive hurling kind of environment again. But for Cork to get their hands on silverware, I think that's really important in this team's development. You know, it's almost the next step. You know, kind of. I think you mentioned it in your piece in Thursday Southern Star about the Clare hurlers. You know, kind of how for them getting their hands on a piece of silverware and how that helped them to kick on last year. I think it's the same for Cork. You kind of just to kind of strengthen that mentality around them, that they're good enough to win silverware at this level and that they can kick on. But there's some huge games coming up, like Limerick coming to Páirc Uí Chaoimh. The Cork have to go to Cusack Park as well. So we'll have to learn a lot more about this Cork hurling team. But they're in a better place going into the league. You know, kind of the panel looks good, the panel looks strong. They know they can beat the big teams. You know, they know they can compete with the big teams. They're not too far off the big prizes. So we just have to see how things pan out over the next couple of weeks. But they hopefully Cork, the hurlers, will be in the mix as well.
Exactly so, and we'll see what happens in that game against Wexford. And the final Cork inter-county side that is in action this weekend is the Cork Ladies footballers. They're playing Westmeath to open their little National League Division 2 campaign on Saturday at 2 p.m. in Páirc Uí Chaoimh. Cork probably wouldn't have been expected to be in this division, Kieran, maybe 2-3 years ago. They are in this division now. Joe Carroll is the new manager of this team, with James McCarthy of Castlehaven coming in as coach as well. It's going to be a big game and a big kind of season for Joe Carroll in many ways, because Westmeath, they're an intermediate side. With the greatest of respect, you would expect the Cork Ladies to get off the mark with a win this weekend.
You think so, and you'd hope so as well, just for kind of Joe Carroll's first kind of competitive game in charge. Joe came in, he kind of succeeded Shane O'Neill, who was in charge the last couple of years, and it was last year's Division 1 campaign didn't go according to plan at all. Cork lost 6 of their 7 games, you know, and that's the reason that Cork find themselves in Division 2. I think it's for the first time in over 2 decades. But looking for silver linings here, it's not the worst thing in the world, I think, for Joe Carroll to take over a Cork team in Division 2, because in one sense, the only way is up from here, you know, kind of. And we've seen over the last couple of years, there's been a big transition in terms of the makeup and the look of the Cork Ladies football panel. Like some of the big names are gone, the Darren O'Sullivans, the Ciara O'Sullivans, Martina O'Brien, Orla Finn, you know, all these kind of almost legends of Cork Ladies football, and a lot of young players have come in. So I think for those young footballers to kind of find their feet, to win a few games together at Division 2 level I think is quite important, because it's just, we know that kind of that adage, success breeds success. And if this Cork team can get used to winning games, that'll help them lead into the Munster Championship and the All-Ireland Championship when they're coming up against the likes of Kerry, you know, the All-Ireland champions. So I think it's kind of exciting times for Cork Ladies football, because new manager, new management team. I have an interview with James McCarthy, the former Castlehaven manager, who's the new Cork Ladies football coach, in Thursday Southern Star, where he's talking about enjoying the challenge, you know, with the likes of Anne O'Grady from Bantry Blues, Brian McCarthy from Clonakilty, our selectors there. So a lot of West Cork involvement. We'll see, touchwood all going well, we'll see Libby Coppinger back in action this weekend. She had a very bad hamstring injury going back in May 2024, and she missed the the entire kind of Camogie and football championship campaign. So we'll have Libby, we'll have the likes of Laura Mahoney, O'Donovan Russell, Melissa Duggan, Katie O'Driscoll, Clonakilty, a lot of West Cork interest here too. So hopefully the Cork ladies will get off to a good start on Saturday, and they can just kind of get the ball rolling for them.
Exactly so, and hopefully all three intercounty sides start off on the right foot this weekend. There's also a school that from West Cork that is in action this weekend, and it is in the Kearney semi-finals, the Munster A competition in football. It's Hamilton High School Bandon. They're up against Mercy Mountach for Tralee on Saturday at 12 p.m. in Mallow. Hammies have done excellent gear in this campaign, and in the Kearney and in the Simcox, they're unbeaten across both competitions. But Mercy Mountach, they won this competition last year. They got all the way to the All-Ireland final in Croke Park last year as well. They have most of the bulk of the players from last year as well. It's going to be a difficult game, but Hammies, they have proven with some excellent performances, especially in their quarter-final against Public School Cork, which they won by 9 points, that they are capable of beating Mercy Mountach. Well, we'll have to see on Saturday if that comes to fruition.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough test, huge test for the Hammies. It's their second time ever back in the Kearney semi-finals. The first time was back in 2022 when it was another Kerry school, St. Brendan's College from Killarney, who ended the Hammies run, but that game went all the way to extra time. But you sent me stats for this Thursday Southern Star, Matthew, and it's like, Jesus Christ, this Mercy Mountach team, like they've shown teams no mercy whatsoever. Like they've averaged 27 or 28 points per game. Like their winning margin is off the charts. Is it Paddy Lane, their top scorer, something like 627? Is it something like that? It's like this is a formidable kind of Mercy Mountach team. So they'll obviously start as favourites against the Hammies, but the Hammies have done incredibly well to get here. Like you said, undefeated in school championship football this year between the Kearney and the Simcox Cup. To beat Public School Corkadrina in the last round, to beat Inverskane as well in the group stages, So Hamilton High have beaten Kerry schools in this Kearney run, Can they make it a hat-trick on Saturday in Mallow? We'll all hope so. Can they get to the final for the first time? Touch wood they can. But it's going to be a big ask against a really good Tralee side. And just for any listeners, check out Thursday Star for Matthew gets up with Paddy Lorden, the Hammies manager, and we have a good look ahead to the game.
Exactly so, and hopefully the GAA sides will do well this weekend. We'll move on briefly to rugby as well, and Munster, obviously, we mentioned that they beat Saracens last week with Gavin Coombs, Jack Crowley and John Hodnett all proving vital for Munster in winning that game. Last weekend they lost against Northampton Saints 34-32. It might have been a defeat, but one man that has staked his claim this weekend more than anyone is Jack Crowley, of course. Brilliant performance in this game. He surely is putting his hand up to be the number one out half for Ireland in the Six Nations ahead of Sam Prendergast after that showing in Franklin's Gardens last Saturday.
Like he can't do any more at this stage. Like it was his best performance of the season for Munster, and interim head coaching. Costello was saying the same thing after. Like it was his best performance of the season. Whether he's kicking, was exemplary. He was driving the team on. Like he had a break there. Like at the very end, almost set up a kind of a match-winning try for Munster. So he's shown form at the right time, and it just makes this Crowley versus Prendergast decision all the more interesting. Like which way are the Ireland coaches going to go? Are they going to go with the new kid on the block who's such huge potential in Prendergast, or are they going to go with Jack Crowley, who's still kind of effectively a new kid on the block in the international scene? Like he's only 24 years of age, and but he's so much talent as well. And what Jack has is he has like he's more experienced when it comes to the Six Nations than Prendergast. Like Crowley played every minute of the Six Nations last year when Ireland won the Six Nations, So he's been there and done that.
The Star Sport podcast is brought to you by Access Credit Union. Access Credit Union, funding dreams for over 50 years.
So it is that time of the week again where we look at what's in this Thursday Southern Star Sports section. And as we talked about earlier, there is a lot on the West Cork Sports Awards that happened at the Celtic Ross Hotel last Saturday night. There's an 8-page special on all the award winners and interviews and reaction from the night itself. There's a preview to Cork's Allianz League opener in football against Meath. There's going to be a column, obviously, with John Hayes this week, and there's going to be an interview with John Cleary. There's an interview with Hammies before their Curly-Vree semi-final against Mercy Mounthawk. Kieran chats to James McCarthy, the coach of the Cork LGFA team, and there's plenty more in this week's Southern Star Sports section. And as well, in this week's Southern Star, there is a supplement, a Get Active supplement that comes free with this week's paper. Included in this is setting your goals, expert advice on the right footwear to use to avoid injury, how you can reform your workout with Pilates, and much more. Be sure to check that out in this week's Southern Star. And of course, if you are further afield or can't make it to the shops, you could subscribe to the Southern Star e-paper and get the Southern Star on your laptop, tablet or phone. Just go to www.southernstar.ie/subscribe, enter your details, and you'll get an exact replica of the newspaper for less than €2 per week. As always, thanks for listening to the Star Sport podcast, and thanks again to our sponsor at Access Credit Union. If you've enjoyed this, please remember to rate, review and subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and we'll be back again next week. Until then, take care.